Hello everyone, I'm Vaughn Barker, the CEO of Barker & Barker Consulting. I'm glad to have today with me Dr. George Koonce, who is becoming a good friend and business partner of mine. And we would like to welcome you to the first episode of Beyond Boardrooms. As I traveled the world, I've met many different C-suite executives who shared their stories with me. We've become friends, some we would do business together, and almost all of them had a very interesting story. And even if it's not interesting to somebody, it's a story of how they made their way up to the top, and there are lessons that other people can learn. My travels have taken me really throughout the throughout the world. I travel a lot to Asia, I travel a lot to the Middle East, and I've thoroughly enjoyed meeting people. And when George and I met, we actually met at an event celebrating a common friend of ours, and we hit it off well from the beginning. We sat down and talked for about 45 minutes at this event, and found some common interests and common bonds. So welcome to the first episode.
Thank you, Mr. Barker. It is absolutely a thrill and an honor and a privilege to be able to sit down and talk to you about a plethora of things.
Yes.
And, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. And you mentioned a plethora of things. You have a very storied career in the professional sports world, the business world, and the community. And you have a lot of community involvement. What would you say? What are the things that you're involved in right now?
My day job is working at a university, Marion University, about 50 miles north of Milwaukee, and I'm senior vice president for university relations. And my primary things are raising money for the institution, helping with alumni with the institution as well, reconnect. And the most important is helping to recruit students from all over the country, but most importantly, the region here in Wisconsin.
Nice. So how did you get into the university or the academic world?
Well, this is my 21st year on the college campus. But if you go all the way back, I started out playing sports as a little guy, playing in a league called Pop Warner.
Okay.
Played Pop Warner when I was 8, 9 years old, and I was growing up in eastern North Carolina, a little small town by the ocean called New Bern, North Carolina.
Yes.
And as I played, I fell in love with it. I got a little bit bigger, and I got a little bit better, and I was offered an athletic scholarship, and I went to college. And next thing you know, after many years of playing and sweating and training, I was able to try out for the Green Bay Packers, and I was able to make that organization, and played 8 years for the Packers, and the coach left and went to the Seattle Seahawks, and I was able to play 1 year in Seattle. So I was able to go to 2 Super Bowls, went to one and won it. 1996 season, Super Bowl 31, and then Super Bowl 32. We went back to back, and unfortunately we lost to the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
It was a better team than we were that day, and got to give them all the credit. They beat us.
You mentioned going from Pop Warner to college. I believe you went to ECU.
I went to East Carolina University.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
In Greenville, North Carolina.
All right. Very good school. Very good school. Was it an easy path going from Pop Warner to college to pro, or were there any difficulties or challenges?
It was many challenges because the competition.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to young men that has aspirations to play in the National Football League, just on the college level, we have about 76,000 young men playing football, Division I, II, or III, and we know there's only 1,696 spots in the National Football League on the yearly basis.
Yes.
So, and on top of that, the average player only plays 3.5 years. So it's a very high pressure, high intense, but very, very fruitful occupation but I just loved it because I felt like I was getting paid to do something that I was doing as a child, a childhood dream.
So what advice would you give to someone that is, say, in high school or in college and want to actually may look up and say, oh, I remember him from being in the Super Bowl. I think I can make it. What advice would you give to someone aspiring to go to the league?
Well, you have to be committed for one, and you have to have a strong work ethic. You have to be able to stay the course because we know with any sport, injuries is a part of it, and you're going to get hurt.
Yes.
Just know that. But just stay focused and persevere through that, and always just have fun. Don't let it get too serious where you're out there not having fun, getting mad at yourself or at your teammates. Just stay away from that, and I think things will work out for you.
Are there any experiences or lessons learned from sports that you brought into the business world?
I think sports has been the catalyst that has really given me the opportunity to advance, whether it's on a bank board or a health systems board. I think my background in athletics with the teamwork piece has really given me a chance to serve on those different boards and move up in corporate America.
All right.
Because it is playing sports. There's a lot of attributes that you receive just from being a part of it.
Yes. Yeah. So how was that transition from the professional sports world to the corporate world?
Well, the transition from the NFL to the corporate world or to being a regular citizen is extremely difficult. A lot of players struggle with that. Me and a couple professors over at Marquette University wrote about is there life after football, survive in the NFL, and it speaks to the transition that one go through upon being in a role or being in a job for so long, and then that identity is lost. How are you able to persevere and get through it?
Yes. So when you made your decision to leave the league, how far before you leave the league did you make that decision? In essence, did you have a transition plan? Like you said, oh, I'm really enjoying this lifestyle. I'm really enjoying all the things that the league provides, so let me enjoy it for a couple of years before I get out? Or did you just one day make the decision to just leave it all?
Well, that's a very good question. It wasn't any planning for my retirement. I think there's about 95% of the players in the National Football League do not get the chance to say when they will or when they will not retire from the NFL. So it was kind of sprung on me at the last moment that, hey, look, your service is no longer needed here with the Green Bay Packers and eventually with the Seattle Seahawks. So it's a tough business, but you have to understand that going in. But all in all, I had a chance to play a childhood dream, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes. One thing you mentioned was the image. Like you spent so much time from Pop Warner to college, to the league. Like it was your identity. How did you find a new identity after the league?
Well, one thing about me, I'm very curious, and I had some outstanding mentors that I kind of latched on to after my playing days, and got very curious in what they were doing, and so after my playing days, I said, well, I want to try to do some of the things that they're doing.
Okay.
So they kind of coached me through the whole process, even though it was very difficult because I wasn't playing a sport that I grew up loving as a little kid. I was able to learn some different skill sets.
Yes.
And I was able to transfer the skills that I had and that I learned from being in the locker room and being a teammate over into the corporate world and over into higher education.
Okay. What made you choose higher education?
Well, because I looked at the people and the institutions that gave me a chance to live out the American dream. And that was guidance councils when I was in high school or middle school. It was teachers and coaches when I was in middle school, elementary school, high school, and on college campuses. And I said, if I ever got a chance to give back, I'd love to do the same things my role models did for me.
Okay.
And that was being present, being available, and helping students that's looking to get a college education, and doing everything I can to help them fulfill their dream.
Right. You mentioned helping others, and as I got to know you and as I've gotten to know you over the last year or so, I noticed that you give back a lot. So could you tell us about some of your involvement in the community?
Well, I think that is paramount in everything we do. I've had some excellent role models. You and I have a mentor by the name of Attorney John Daniels. That's part of his DNA,
Yes.
giving back. So I just watch individuals like that, and I try to give back. The university at Marion established a scholarship in my name, the Dr. George E. Koonce Scholars Program, and we went to the Green Bay Packers to solicit them or ask them would they be willing to, because they have a significant foundation. I asked them would they be willing to support the Dr. George E. Koonce Scholars Program, and they donated $250,000, $250,000 to the program. And
That's nice.
and what we're looking to do is in the beginning have about 4 students enter into the program, but once we get it going, we'll love to have about 10 coming in at each year, and at even given time we have 40 students on campus that are Koonce scholars.
Okay.
And I think that's a great opportunity to give back, and we look forward to those students graduating and then hopefully going back to their neighborhoods or their cities and making a difference.
Okay. What type of student is this scholarship targeted towards? Is it more inner city? Is it in-state? Is it anyone who's interested in going to the school?
I think it's, first of all, the profile is a lot like my profile coming out of high school. A lot of them are single parents, low income, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be inner city. You could be rural.
Yeah, right.
The one thing that is common is that there's a financial need, and we want to be able to help lessen that blow for students, because a lot of them, over 50%, 55% of the students at Marion, they're first generation. So we want to be able to give them a hand up and help them so they don't have a tremendous amount of debt when they leave the university and they're out there working and making a difference, and they have a family now. So,
Nice.
so keep praying for us and
We
keep pulling for us, and we look forward to really truly making a difference in the state of Wisconsin with the Dr. George E. Koonce Scholars Program.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very good. You know, one other thing, you know, so that's the academic side of you, but also on the commercial business side, you have some activities. Could you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I'm the founder of Koonce and Kennedy, which is a PR marketing firm. Started it back in 1998. It's been up and going for about 2 years, and we have some outstanding, just so happen to be ladies that are running the firm, and we're helping companies break into Black and Brown and Hispanic speaking communities. So we're very, very excited about that. And
what are some ways that you do that? Like,
let's say we may help a financial institution, a bank. We may help a healthcare system or insurance company break into a neighborhood or a community of color.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Nice. So break into it meaning like with their products or services, like
Yep.
selling to a community that they may not be used to selling to.
Right, right. So let's say from a financial institution like a bank, getting customers that are of color that may not know of the different services that you have and that you offer. So we can help get the word out, so to speak.
Nice. And you mentioned that it's Koonce and Kennedy. So and you mentioned that it's Koonce and Kennedy. So you're Koonce and who is Kennedy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Kennedy is my mom. That's her maiden name. Okay. So I felt like it wouldn't be right if I didn't have both my grandmothers involved with my firm. So Koonce and Kennedy is both my grandmother on my mom's side and my grandmother on my dad's side. So and my mom and dad came together and they made George Koonce Jr. So.
Nice story. With this wealth of knowledge that you have, you talk about at the academic level, helping the university. You talked about helping the students. Talk about helping the community. How about at the board level? Do you advise companies or do you tend to not?
Well, yep. I sit on I think 4 different boards currently. I'm on the board of the Green Bay Packers, the Nature Conservancy, which is an international institution, but there's a chapter in every state in America. I'm on that board. I'm on Horicon Bank's board, based out of Horicon, Wisconsin. They're over 127 years old. And Ascension Healthcare, Wisconsin. We have about 17 hospitals here in our health system with about 20,000 employees. But Ascension Healthcare is the third largest healthcare system in the United States and the largest Catholic healthcare system in the world. So nice. I'm able to give my thoughts and my opinions on my experience, because we all have a journey, we all have opinions, and we all have experiences.
Yes.
A lot of them a lot different than one another. One thing about a great leader is able to bring all those different diverse experience together for the betterment of the organization.
Yes. Well, someone as busy as you are, how do you handle work-life balance?
Well, I take time. My wife has done an extraordinary job of making sure that we spend time with the grandkids, spend time with the kids, and travel every once in a while and vacation. And I get a chance to read.
Nice.
And every once in a while I get a chance to go watch the Packers play or the Bucks or the Brewers.
Yes.
Just relax and get some fresh air, because there's nothing like Wisconsin during the summertime.
I agree. In the summertime.
In the summertime.
In the summertime. You mentioned sports, and Wisconsin's had a lot of good teams recently, and I noticed you're wearing your NFL alumni pin. Are there some things going on with the Packers or the other teams coming up?
Well, the Packers are celebrating, and let's say the Packers in the state of Wisconsin are celebrating that the 2025 draft is coming to the state in April 24th of 2025, and we're excited about that. We're expecting over 400,000 individuals coming to the state to partake in that great event, and it's going to leave a 186 million economic impact on the state of Wisconsin. So we're very, very excited, but it's going to take more than just the city of Green Bay.
Yes.
We're going to need the Fox Valley. We're going to need Nina Menasha, and I think Milwaukee is going to play a big role in that because the infrastructure is more in place to hold that type of a crowd than let's say a Green Bay.
Yes.
You know, because Milwaukee just hosted the RNC.
Yes.
And did a very good job of playing host. So
yes.
We're going to have to bring as one of the members of the task force to bring the draft to Wisconsin. That's one of the things I'm going to be pushing. I'm going to be pushing that the city of Milwaukee and the county play an integral part in hosting the draft alongside the Green Bay Packers and the city of Green Bay and all the other great cities in the state of Wisconsin.
Yes. You know, I own a small business, and one thing I noticed was an announcement or communication about supplier diversity with the actual event that's going to be coming, like you said, in April 2025. So I hope that the different cities that you mentioned, you know, other people, I hope other people have seen that, because there are opportunities for all types of businesses, diverse
Yes.
businesses, different kind of businesses to actually get involved. So, you know, my thing is, if people haven't heard of it, that's something that they probably should, you know, look into.
Oh yes, and they can go to the website because the NFL is encouraging.
Are they to go to the Green Bay Packers website?
Go to the Green Bay Packer website or the NFL Draft 2025 website. There's a lot of information because they're looking for minority and women-owned businesses to partner with maybe a bigger business that is established to do the work during that week, because it's going to be all hands on deck.
Yes.
For the entire week. We're probably going to have over 1,600 or 2,000 volunteers.
Wow.
For that week alone.
Wow. You know, you mentioned smaller companies partner up with larger companies. My company, we actually last year started getting involved in federal government contracting, and some of those contracts are very large. Most of them are very large, to the point that you actually need teaming. And so we've been fortunate. We're part of the Integrated Healthcare Transformation 2.0 effort to optimize the entire VA healthcare system. And so that's 175 or 172 hospitals inside that system. So I definitely understand the benefit or the need to partner with larger companies.
Right.
But as you interact with people, do you see a need for smaller companies to interact, or do you think there's opportunity for smaller companies to partner together to help each other grow?
I think so. I think we need to have more conversations, and I think we need to come together more, because I think there's a lot of opportunities out there, and I think you have a better opportunity to win that job or that RFP if you go at it together.
Yes. Yes. And one other thing about these RFPs is the past performance. So with you having a small company, small as
Very
it
small.
relates to what the SBA, you know, designates as the small, you know, SBA designates as small versus large companies. How do you go along that path of growth?
Well, we really take our time and do a great job of vetting what companies we choose to partner with.
Yes.
Because we want to make sure we have the same mission and values.
Yes.
That's the most important thing for us. Not necessarily if we partner with company A, we will get the business. One thing I've learned over the years, it's not all about the money.
Right.
It's all about the relationship.
Yes.
So we want to make sure we're partnering with the right firm.
Yes. Inside government contracting and commercial contracting, there's this thing called know, like, and trust. Meaning people like to do business with who they know, like, and trust. What are your thoughts on that concept?
I think that concept has been around for many years. whether it's in the federal government, whether it's in higher education, or whether it's in sports and athletics.
Right.
People do business with people they like and they trust.
Yes.
So therefore, when you see a coach that gets hired, let's say for the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings, they clear house and they bring people in that they feel comfortable with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is true. You know, now that you mentioned coaches, you mentioned, we have common people that we know, and one being Mr. John Daniels II. What has been the benefit of you having business coaches throughout your life or throughout your corporate life?
Well, I think it's been, just outstanding, because if you look at it from an athletic perspective, even though Jordan Love is one of the highest paid quarterbacks now, or Aaron Rodgers is one of the top quarterbacks, he still has a coach.
Yes.
And he still needs a coach. So if that's the case for that industry, where some of the players are making $50 million a year and have been doing it for many, many years, I think there's carryover into corporate or into other industries as well. So I think it's imperative that you have someone that you can go to and bounce things off of. And you and I both have someone in common that we can do that with.
Yeah. So I'll ask you one last question. The Milwaukee area has been known to be a challenging environment for certain individuals to progress. What advice would you give to people that's trying to make it but feel like, I just can't make it in this city?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that they can make it, but you have to really be able to build relationships, and it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
You know, I live in a city in Fond du Lac, and a few years ago there was a consultant. They was trying to figure out what they was going to do with their Chamber of Commerce, and this consultant did some talk back and some studies, and it came out that it took 15 years that people felt comfortable, outsiders felt comfortable living in Fond du Lac. I'm not saying that it would take 15 years to feel comfortable here in Milwaukee, but one thing about Milwaukee, it's a small city in a big town.
Yes. Yes.
And if you look at it from that standpoint, that'll give you a hands up on being able to build those relationships, fruitful, genuine relationships, to be able to move forward in the state.
Okay. Well, I thank you for being on the first episode of Beyond Boardrooms, mm-hmm. and look forward to future episodes. So how can people, once again, you mentioned the scholarship,
yes.
How could they find out more about the scholarship or any other things you feel they should
Well, just reach out to me at Marian University. It's G. Koonce at marianuniversity.edu. Marian is M-A-R-I-A-N, university.edu. Phone number is 920-923-7676. Again, that number is 920-923-7676. And my name is Dr. George Koonce Jr. And I appreciate you. Thank you, Barker & Barker, for having me in. I look forward to doing this again in the future.
Indeed. Thank you so much.
And I want to thank Cody in the back with all the hard work to put this interview together. And I look forward to building a relationship with him in the future. Take care.
Thank you so much.